welcome to day 4, another one of your hip videos. So, we're going to start off with a nice simple little warm-up, really just kind of moving up the joints and warming up the joints. So if you just stand anywhere on your mat, bring one foot behind you, and you're just going to rotate around the foot. I didn't actually mention this in the first day of the hip practice, but as you probably noticed, I tend to do all of my workouts without trainers on. And that's really just because I'm in my own flat, I don't have a wooden floor, it's not going to hurt me to impact, and I personally prefer it because I can feel my feet on the ground. But if you do have any ankle injuries or knee problems, I would maybe suggest that for now, at least, you wear trainers. If you're used to doing stuff without trainers, then try it without trainers, see how you feel. You might love it, like me. I love it. So then rotate the foot in the other direction. So you're just going right around your toes, warming up the toes, warming up the ankles, everything kind of getting nice and warm and loose. And then you're going to swap the feet. So take the other foot behind you, and then do the same. Just go right around the toes. Oh, a nice click in the ankle there. If you do get any clicks or crunches or whatever around the toes and the ankle, it's quite normal, especially because you don't really do this with the feet. You know, we walk and then we sit, and that's it really. And then go around the other direction. Lovely. Feel that loosening. Even around the hip it loosens a little bit. Good. Okay, then now that you've done that, you're just going to bend your knees a little bit. Take your weight back. Don't let yourself come forwards. And then just take your hands onto your knees and rotate around the knees a bit. So now you're kind of warming around the ankles and the knees and also the hips. And then go in the other direction. Perfect. And then you're going to go around the hips. So it's a little bit of a sexy dance. You're going to do a nice little rotation of your hips. Keep the knees soft. Don't try and do this with straight legs because it's actually impossible to do it with straight legs. You need your knees bent, weight in your heels, and just rotate around the hips. And then in the other direction. Hopefully you've got some nice music on. And then relax. Then you keep the knees straight. We're just going to try and rotate around the ribs. Now don't worry if as you do this you get a little bit stuck. It's quite normal because you might not be very used to doing this movement. So the idea is you try and keep your pelvis nice and stable as you rotate around the ribs. And it's just the ribs that you're moving round in a circle. Keep going. And then go in the other direction now that you've got used to going that way. Lovely. Relax there. And then we're just going to shrug the shoulders. So as you breathe in, lift them as high as you can. And as you breathe out, let them drop. And again. And drop. And again. One more time. Lovely, and then rotate round in a circle going backwards. And then forwards. Should be feeling quite nice and warm around the shoulders now, really trying to loosen them up. And then you're going to rotate round your elbows, so you're going to look really weird right now. And then in the other direction. Try and do it just around the elbows, not around the shoulders just yet. We will do that in a minute. And then you're going to rotate around your wrists. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of clicking here and there in the wrists. I get it. So it's normal. And then the other direction. And just to warm up the fingers a little, give them a good flick. Like you're flicking paint. Good. Now try and keep your pelvis really nice and stable, your feet planted, and like you're swimming, you're just going to go round with the arms. So the movement actually comes kind of from the ribs first, and then into the shoulders. And it's basically loosening the space between your shoulder blades, your thoracic spine, if you want to know what it is. And then go in the other direction. So you're trying not to do this. You're not moving your hips, you're moving your ribs and your arms. It's really quite a nice release around the upper back. Good, and then I'm going to turn sideways just because it's easier for you to see what I'm doing here. So you're going to bring yourself back into this position, you know, like when you were doing your knees. Place your hands just above the knees and have the thumbs on the inside, the fingers on the outside, really grip. Then your arms are nice and straight. As you breathe in, expand your chest and lengthen back with your tailbone. And as you breathe out, round your back. And your knees will come slightly forwards as you round. And again, breathe in. And as you breathe out, round. So you're just loosening up the spine. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and round. One more. Perfect. Roll yourself up. And then we just loosen the neck a little bit. So if you just go very gently from one side to the other, rather than in a big circle. And try and keep your hands pressing down as you go from one side to the other. Keep it loose and relaxed. Don't force it if it's painful. It should never be painful. I mean, yes, you should feel something in terms of a stretch or, you know, a sensation, but not pain as in like joint pain or anything like that. Never. Not in yoga, not in fitness, not in anything should you feel actual pain. It's just that's just a sign that your body is saying you've gone too far, basically. One more, on each way, or each side. Perfect. Okay, so our joints and everything are nice and warm, we're ready to go. You might want a chair for this one. We're going to be doing press-ups at one point, so I'm going to show you an option with the chair. So if you grab a chair, then we can begin. We start off with squat jumps. So you basically start wide, and then you jump in and out, in and out, okay? If that's too much, if you've got any injuries in the knees, just very simply go out and down. That's enough, okay? So you're just doing a kind of sumo squat rather than anything else, okay? So here we go. Ready? Get ready. Start wide and go. Land really nice and soft on your feet. And try and really get your bottom to go backwards, your weight into your heels. Keep breathing. And remember, if you're just doing the squats, again, weight in the heels. Oh, lovely, little rest. So then your next exercise is going to be press-ups. So it's when we take our little chair, if you want it, your hands will go right to the edge of the chair, and you're basically in a plank position, and you go down and up. Pretty simple. Just focus on keeping the elbows in as you go down and up. Get yourself ready. Got 4 seconds. Ready? Let's go. Breathe out as you push up. Nice big breaths, keep going. Try and get both arms to work evenly. Whee. I've never been a fan of press-ups, my upper body is crap. Okay, next exercise is skiing basically. So you start from one side of the mat, jump yourself around and to the other, okay? Again, if you've got knee problems, just step. And you don't even have to go that low. It can be just here, like a curtsy almost, okay? Either there or there. Get ready. Let's go. Try and go nice and far back with the back leg. It doesn't have to be low. It can be just as low as you can go. And it doesn't even have to be fast, okay? It has to be precise. That's the main thing. Oh, lovely. Okay, so then the last exercise is hops. Move my chair out of the way. You go from a downward dog type position and you bring yourself forwards and backwards. Now again, if you've got knee problems, back problems, you simply go from here, walk in, walk back. So you're just doing little steps, that's all. Okay? So get ready. Let's go. Both times when you land, land soft. So bending the knees. Ooh. Keep going. Definitely nearly there. Oh. 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 That one is a killer. End on the hardest one. Okay. Little break. Then we have just one more round of those 4. That's all. So we start off with the squat jumps or just squats, sumo squats. Get ready. 7 seconds. Big breaths. Okay, ready? Let's go. Remember to land soft. And land on your heels as you go out. Nearly there. Keep going. Oh. Legs, oh my goodness. Okay. Right. Chair again. If you're using the chair, or you're doing a full press up, or you could even be here doing a press up on your knees. Obviously my chair's in the way. I'm going to stick with the chair though. Nearly ready. Set yourself up. Let's go. Exercise. Watch what's happening to your shoulders. Don't let yourself go forwards like this and then up. Really have the shoulders back, elbows back. Nearly there. Oh, one more. Oh. Right, I'll put the chair back. I'm going to need that again. Okay, so we get ready for the skiing, which remember is either stepping like a curtsy or jumping like you're skiing, sort of. Ooh. Keep breathing. Nice deep breaths to get the breath down. Ready? Let's go. Oops. Hit the guitar behind me. Remember, you don't have to go too low. You don't have to go too fast. Just do what you can do. Nearly there. You can keep going. Come on, you can do it. Oh. Wow, okay. Right, one last thing to do, just the hops, and then you're done. Then we can cool down. So you've got this, for sure. Oh, breathe. Okay, get yourself ready. Let's go. Exercise. Either step or jump. If you get too tired, you can even step rather than jump. Woo. That's just as hard, to be honest. Oh. Wow, well done. So don't sit down just yet. Just let your heart rate come down. Walk around a bit. Have a sip of water. I've got mine handy here. Ah, lovely. Lovely. Ready? And we're done. Amazing. Well done. Okay, so we're just going to get ourselves to cool down, relax a little, and then you're fully done. So we're going to start off just with some breathing. Make your feet wide. And as you breathe in, just soften the knees, reach up. And again. One more. Lovely. Okay, bring the feet back together. Stand on one foot. Feel free to grab onto your chair to help you balance, because this isn't about balance right now, this is about stretching. Bring your heel to your bum. Either hold it with one hand but draw your shoulder and your elbow back, or hold it with two hands and draw both shoulders and elbows back. And then you try to really let, if I show you this side, your pubic bone come up and your ribs hug in. So it's not that you're tucking, don't do this. You want to really lengthen through your knees, lengthen through your pubic bone, and let the ribs come back. Then you can draw the foot closer to the bum, the knee a bit further back. Then release, and we'll do the other side. I'll show you this way. Again, lengthen through the tailbone, let your ribs come back. Lovely. Release, I love that, it feels so good. And then nice and gently, just take yourself into a downward facing dog. And then you're just going to really gently bring your right knee behind your right wrist. And then the foot, the heel, is in line with your groin. Don't take it forwards like a full pigeon pose. And then slide your left leg back as far as it will go. And just rest the knee down. So you start to get a nice bit of a stretch in your hips. You go as long as you can to get that stretch. But as you're going long, don't let this hip collapse. Or even the other one. Keep them nice and stable. And then you can come up onto your fingertips. Just gently squeeze the legs towards each other and lift your chest. And as you exhale, you can come down onto your elbows. Make fists with your hands and place one on top of the other. And rest your forehead on them. And then really breathe into your hips. Perfect. Then take your hands back down in front of that knee. Tuck your back toe under and step it back. Then you take your left knee in and you bring the left knee behind the left wrist. And then really slowly and gently slide that right leg back. Lovely. Let it go so you really feel that stretch in your hip. Let the foot come down but not the hip. Keep it nice and stable. And then from there just come onto your fingertips as you squeeze your legs towards each other so you get a little extra length. Then you can fold yourself down. Place again one fist on top of the other, but try to swap them over this time if you can remember what you did before. And relax your head down. And then breathe. Right down into your hips. Lovely. Then place your hands down in front of that knee, tuck your back toe under, and again just step it back into your downward dog. This of course is a stretch in itself as well, so then you can push down into your hands, really press back through your ankles and back through your legs to lift your sitting bones, so you feel that stretch down your hamstrings and your calves. And try to keep your shoulders nice and broad. If it helps you, you can grab the sides of the mat and just try to push the mat away from you. So then that will help you to widen the shoulders a bit. And then gently come up onto your knees, onto your toes, sorry, and down onto your knees. And then we're going to come down onto our backs. Keep your feet a little in front of you so you've got some space, arms out to the sides. Press into your left foot, and without moving your pelvis, just gently lift your right knee. Turn the knee out to the side and bring the foot onto the front of the thigh. And then walk the foot in. Firstly, this might be enough of a stretch for some people if you're very, very tight in the hips. Otherwise, you can just gently lift that leg and either just hold on to the knees, but don't let your shoulders and your head come up. Or if you can thread the arms through your left leg. And then you just gently draw the legs closer to you without sending the lower back into the floor. Keep your tailbone down, your lower back in a neutral position. And then release. Bring your left knee in, turn it out to the side, and then that left foot comes onto the front of the right thigh. Again, you can walk the right foot in, which might be enough of a stretch, or lift the legs and just hold on to the knees. So you're just helping yourself to pull the leg in a little more, or thread the arms through. And then keep your spine in neutral as you draw your legs in a bit closer. So good. And then release. Lovely. And then you can roll onto your right side and just nice and gently come up. And then we're just going to stretch out the shoulders a little bit. So you can either sit with your legs crossed, sitting on a cushion or on the floor, or sit on your knees, whatever's comfortable. Take your hands behind you and just link your fingers. Then squeeze the fingers together and push the arms away from you as you squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then release. You're going to change the length of your fingers. So if this is where you were first, you simply change them over that way. So you're just changing over the index finger basically. Again, squeeze the fingers together, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and press the arms back and away. And breathe. And then release. Wonderful. That's the end of your HIIT workout for day 4. I'll see you in day 5. Namaste.